Again.
I had to, yep. Hello, printmakers. So today we're going to go over the steps to carving the relief block. As you can see, there'll be a video played behind us, as well as us in the corner providing the instructions. We're going to start by going over some materials that you're going to need and tools. That includes a linoleum block, a bench hook or non-slip material, and your carving tools.
We're going to create, or you will create, a clean, flat surface to work on as you begin to start your block.
You'll want to place your linoleum block on a bench hook or anti-slip material, so as you're carving, it's not going to shift and move on you constantly.
You can see that Brett has some anti-slip materials down, but feel free to use that bench hook whenever you need it. Step 4, you're going to draw directly on the block or transfer the image to the block, and we're going to discuss that at a later time. Remember that the reverse image will be printed. So however Brett has this image here, the reverse will show up. And later on, we're going to show you an image of a graphite rubbing that demonstrates what the print will actually look like. Text will need to be drawn backwards on the block and then carved backwards as well before you print it. Note, have an established sketch. This is very important. Have an established or resolved sketch or drawing as you begin your carving.
So when you get out your carving tools, or your tool with multiple nibs, each nib is going to make a bit of a different mark. U gouges and V gouges. You are carving the negative space, meaning whatever that light area is going to be. So as you reference the video that we're going to play in the background, everything that's carved away is going to be the white space. You can do a multiplicity of marks, patterns, and textures that can be achieved through different carving methods and different tools. And we also will have you see a reference images within the files in your platform.
When carving, always carve away from your body. You're going to hear me and Brett say this a million times. Carve away from your body, carve away from your body. We don't want to see hands with lots of Band-Aids all over them. We don't want to see you cut yourself. Safety is our #1 concern, and this is a big safety concern. So make sure you carve away from yourself.
I'm going to repeat it one more time. Always carve away from yourself. I have made the mistake and nicked my finger, and it's not fun to continue to carve with cuts all over your hand. So always carve away from yourself. In addition, carving the block will take time. This is a time lapse that you saw behind me. So it looks like it took a max of 38 seconds. It takes much longer than 38 seconds. So if you're going, be sure to step away. If your hand starts to cramp up, leave the block there. And a way to kind of check as you go along is you can take a rubbing using graphite and paper, laying the paper on top of the block, and then rubbing that with graphite to show what the image looks like at that particular moment. And we'll also provide a reference image for you as well in your files.
I want you to notice here that that Brett has finished his carving, and that's what we're looking at on the screen. Notice that Brett carved all of the space away that was around his image, but I also want you to notice that he used very specific techniques for pattern and mark making that were very different, and that he didn't exactly follow his drawing. It was like an idea, and that as he was carving, he noticed, I think I need to leave this here, I need to leave that there. You can see down in the shirt, there's a brown area there that still is there. Brett did not carve that away because he thought that needed to stay, right? And you can see that there's little brown areas here and there on the image that didn't get completely carved away. I want you to leave yourself the room to make those kinds of edits as you go, and as you're thinking about how will this be printed so that you can get the best possible printing that you think. Remember that the drawing itself is not this must be exactly this. You as a printmaker can think through and inside the process in order to allow your image to become what you need it to become as a printmaker. Also notice that the patterning Brett did in that top right-hand corner of his image is going to make it much easier to print rather than if he had carved that entire area out. That would have become very difficult to print if he had tried to have a big blank cutaway area. Some ink would have picked up in that space if he had carved that all away. So it was a very smart thing for him to do, to lay down a form of patterning rather than a big empty space. So just some things to think about as you are carving some like master's tricks from Brett and I. We hope that the two of you have enjoyed, or all of you have enjoyed, the two of us, I should say, this little video, and we'll talk to you more in the future.